gentlemen, boys and girls, all you cool cats and kittens, you're tuned into the first episode of Checkmate. You know who I am. I'm the host with the most, Nate Joyner, and today is a very special episode because I have Caitlin Leggett with me. She is a poet. I've read a lot of her poems. Very beautiful. So thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Just starting off, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm Caitlin. If you don't know me, I also go by Skippy. I'm 20. I'm a double major in mass communications and computer information systems with a minor in journalism. I write articles, poetry, whatever it is that comes to my head. I play volleyball here at Wesleyan. I've been writing since I was probably in middle school, but I didn't really think it was anything special. I just knew how to make words rhyme. But I got into high school, I started having a little bit more to say, and I guess what I was saying resonated with somebody, and here I am.
So outside of school, back in your city, Durham, you serve as the youth reporter for the WUNC. So tell us a little bit about that.
So it was an internship that I did this summer, and I actually just accepted a job to be a news administrative intern. So that would be my position now. I spent all summer working on it started as like an expose of like what people were doing, how people were feeling, how they were reacting to everything that was going on, from Black Lives Matter to just everything. And what I ended up finding was like it was a lot more going on in my own community than I even realized. And then I also worked a little bit on a podcast about the intersectionality of the Black woman. It was hard, and it's still hard, and it's not done, but that was my summer.
Okay. So nonetheless, she does it all. I just want to ask you, what made you get started into poetry? Because I knew you last year, and we had a couple classes together, and we didn't really speak like that. And then went home for the pandemic, and I went on Instagram one day, and I saw you reciting your poetry downtown. Was it downtown Durham?
Yeah.
It was downtown Durham. I was like, okay, she got something to say. So, we had the show, we had the platform. I want to get on the show, let her talk a little bit. So what made you get into poetry?
So I've been writing ever since I was a little girl. My mom is a librarian. I was always good with words. I knew how to rhyme a little bit, but it never really meant anything. I was writing, but I wasn't really feeling what I was writing until I got into high school. My aunt, we always had a very close relationship. She died when I was a senior. The first poem I ever got published was about her and just how she affected me and everything that she did for me. And then after that, everything I said kind of had something behind it.
Now, during the pandemic, we've had a lot of police brutality going on in the world, and from Ahmaud Arbery to George Floyd to Rashard Brooks, and they all affected people in different ways. I know it affected me. I'm sure it affected you. So how has it affected you from seeing things either on TV or social media or anything you've seen?
I think just knowing that, like, my father is in his 60s, and he's been teaching me Black history since the day I came out. So knowing that he's telling me all this stuff that happened when he was in high school and in middle school and whatnot, and here I am in college, and these same things are still happening. I have cousins and best friends and all these men in my life, and I know even these women, like, if that was one of them, I'm burning this city down. Like, everybody is gonna hear about it.
Okay, so the poem you will be reciting on our show today is entitled Strange Fruit 2020. Talk about the title, where you got it from, and what it means to you personally.
So the title comes from the song called Strange Fruit, which was written in 1939 by Billie Holiday, the Lady Day. My daddy played that song for me when I was a little girl, and it scared me so bad. And then turn around in 1965, Nina Simone recorded the song, and I fell in love with it. And ever since then, the song entails a man being lynched, and of course we don't see that the way they did, but we still see bodies in the street that look like us, that were put there by people who are not us. So it's still happening.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our very own Caitlin Leggett reciting her poem, Strange Fruit 2020.
A man was lynched today, and like strange fruit he swung in the breeze, but in the distance a low baritone voice strains, I can't breathe. Your pale ears didn't hear it because you know peace, but me, we know no peace because of police. A man was lynched today, and he looked a little bit like me, a version of me that could be in my fate, my destiny, a mini me, a 10 years into the future, a brown bundle of joy, a present, a 9 months post gift from the omnipresent. A man was lynched today, but yesterday he was just a boy, a son playing with his toy gun. A man was lynched today, and my heart was cinched away. Syrup slips from the trees as his blood drips away. This tree bears a strange fruit as his oak skin begins to decay. A man was lynched today. Publicly was his body left for display, his dignity, his life stripped away. A man was lynched today by police. There is no federal law against lynching. It is legal for plantation police to squeeze and trigger release rounds on my black body. A man was lynched today, and Billie Holiday sang this daunting song in 1939. It is now 2020, and a man was lynched today whose skin looked just like mine.
And that was Strange Fruit 2020 by our very own Caitlin Leggett. We appreciate you for joining us on the show. Is there anything you would like to say?
I mean, I saw something a few months ago that said mattering is the minimum, and that's truly that. Like, it don't matter if you are a thug or if you got a PhD. Like, there's no reason at all for you to have a target on your back just because you brown, just because you black, just because you darker than what they perceive to be the right color. And with that being said, I also wrote a book that will be coming out soon. It's called The Mad Black Woman, so look for that too.
Look for that. Thank you, Caitlin Leggett, for coming on the show and sharing your poem with us. It's very beautiful. We appreciate it. We hope to have you on the show again very soon, talking about your book.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having you. Thank you. All right, so the purpose of today's episode was solely based on police brutality. And I know that a lot of my peers around campus see me, and I'm pretty much an outgoing guy, you know. I like having fun, I like being silly, you know, with my friends, but I just want to address a serious matter about this topic that we're talking about on today's episode, because it's very serious in today's time, and I don't think it should be played with or joked about in the slightest of manners. Police brutality is in no way, shape, or form okay, and we are not happy with it, and we basically say we're tired of it. Simple, point and blank. When we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying Black lives only and forget everybody else. No, we're saying that we shouldn't be gunned down just because of the color of our skin when we're sleeping in a car, or when we're walking up the street, or even when we're sleeping in our house. Our lives matter too. That's what we say. That's what we mean when we say Black Lives Matter. I don't want people to get the meaning of things misconstrued, or they just don't understand where we're coming from. No, we have a voice, we matter, and we want to be heard too. So when we say Black Lives Matter, yes, Black lives do matter. Black lives matter. There is no reason, and I repeat, no reason why a little black kid gets gunned down by police for playing with a toy gun, one that's not even real. But you have other people of other colors going to peaceful protests and killing the protesters who just want to be heard, and walking scot-free past the police before anything happened to them. This is not right. This is not right. We will not stand for it. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Checkmate. Please stay tuned for the next episode. And justice for Breonna Taylor and Jacob Blick.